When the great Pharaoh Seti I finally drew his last breath, it wasn't just the passing of a king, it was the closing of an era. The news of his death echoed through the halls of Thebes, and a profound sense of loss settled over the land of Egypt. This wasn't merely the death of a ruler, it was the departure of the man who had brought Egypt back from the brink of chaos, the one who had restored the old gods and rebuilt the nation's pride. His reign, though not the longest, had been a golden age of stability, art, and revival. Imagine the scene, a grand funeral procession, the likes of which Egypt had rarely witnessed. Seti's body, meticulously mummified and encased in a magnificent sarcophagus, was carried with solemn reverence through the streets of Thebes. Priests, their heads shaven and bodies adorned in white linen, chanted ancient hymns, their voices rising and falling in a rhythmic cadence that seemed to guide the pharaoh's soul. The air was thick with the scent of incense, a sacred perfume meant to purify the path to the afterlife. Torches flickered against the deepening twilight, casting long, dancing shadows on the faces of the mourning populace who lined the route. Their wails and cries a testament to their love for their fallen leader. This wasn't just a funeral, it was a cosmic event, a sacred journey as Seti's spirit, his began its perilous voyage across the celestial river into the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. His final resting place had been prepared long in advance, carved deep into the limestone cliffs of the most sacred necropolis in all of Egypt, the Valley of the Kings. This was the eternal home of pharaohs, a secluded, sun-scorched valley chosen to protect their bodies and their treasures for all eternity. Seti's tomb, known to us today as KV-17, is not just another tomb. It is a masterpiece. To this day, it remains the longest, deepest, and arguably the most beautifully decorated tomb ever discovered in the valley. When it was rediscovered, it was so spectacular that it earned the nickname the Sistine Chapel of Ancient Egypt. The man who made this incredible discovery was the Italian strongman turned explorer, Giovanni Belzoni. In October 1817, after months of relentless digging under the scorching Egyptian sun, Belzoni and his team stumbled upon the entrance. What they found inside was beyond their wildest dreams. It was a descent into another world, a journey into the heart of Egyptian belief. Room after room opened up, each one a testament to the skill and devotion of the artisans who had labored there for years. The walls were covered in exquisitely carved and painted reliefs, the colors so vibrant and fresh it was as if they had been painted only yesterday, not over 3 millennia ago. These weren't just decorations, they were a roadmap to eternity. Every inch of KV-17 tells a story. The walls are covered with sacred texts, like the Litany of Ra, the Book of Gates, and the Imduet, which literally means that which is in the underworld. These texts served as a guide for Seti's soul, providing the magic spells and secret knowledge needed to navigate the treacherous 12 hours of the night. The journey was fraught with danger, filled with fiery lakes, monstrous serpents like the dreaded Apep, and terrifying demons. But the tomb's art also shows the way to overcome these obstacles. One of the most breathtaking chambers is the burial chamber itself. Its vaulted ceiling is a celestial map, painted a deep, dark blue and dotted with golden stars. It depicts the constellations and deities that govern the night sky, a cosmic canopy under which the pharaoh would sleep for eternity. It's a powerful statement. Seti was not just buried beneath the earth, he was being reborn among the imperishable stars, to sail across the heavens with the sun god Ra for all time. The level of detail is staggering. You can see the goddess Nut, the sky, arching her body over the earth, swallowing the sun at dusk and giving birth to it again at dawn. It's a powerful cycle of death and rebirth, captured in stunning artistry. When Belzoni first entered this chamber, he found a magnificent, translucent calcite sarcophagus. It was intricately carved with texts and figures, a work of art in itself. But it was empty. The lid was broken, and the mummy of Seti I was gone. For years, this was a perplexing mystery. Where was the great pharaoh? It wasn't until 1881 that his mummy was found, not in his own glorious tomb, but stashed away with dozens of other royal mummies in a secret cache at Deir el-Bahri. Priests, in a desperate attempt to protect the royal dead from rampant tomb robbers in later dynasties, had moved them to this secret hiding place. But the empty sarcophagus is just one of KV-17's many enigmas. The tomb is filled with haunting mysteries that continue to puzzle archaeologists. It contains hidden passages, false doors, and strange, unfinished chambers. As you walk deeper into the tomb, you feel a sense of deliberate misdirection. It is as if the builders were trying to protect something far more valuable than gold or jewels. Were they trying to confuse potential tomb robbers, creating a labyrinth to lead them astray? Or was there another purpose? One of the most fascinating features is a long, descending tunnel that begins in the floor of the burial chamber. Belzoni's team tried to explore it, but they were forced to give up after digging over 300 feet into the unstable rock. For nearly 200 years, the purpose of this tunnel remained a complete mystery. What was it for? Where did it lead? Some theorized it was a symbolic passage leading directly to the underworld. Others believed it was an escape route for the workers. Then, in recent years, a team led by the famous archaeologist Dr. Zahi Hawass used modern technology to explore this tunnel further. They discovered that the tunnel abruptly stops. It seems it was abandoned and finished. But why? The current theory is that the builders were trying to connect Seti I's tomb to the water table. In ancient Egyptian cosmology, the primordial waters of creation, called the Nun, lay deep beneath earth. By connecting the tomb to this symbolic source of all life, Seti's resurrection would be guaranteed. It was an incredibly ambitious plan, a fusion of architecture and theology that ultimately proved impossible to complete. But there are other theories, more esoteric and speculative. Some Egyptologists believe that Seti I's tomb is not just a burial place but a complex library of secret knowledge, written in a code of symbols and celestial alignments. They point to the tomb's precise orientation, suggesting it aligns with certain stars or constellations on significant dates. Perhaps it even points across the Nile to Abydos, the sacred cult center of Osiris, the god of the afterlife. In this view, the entire tomb is a machine for resurrection, a cosmic engine designed to ensure the king has eternal life by aligning him with the power of the gods and the stars themselves. Another intriguing idea is that Seti left behind messages for his son and successor, the future Ramesses the Great. Seti had spent his reign restoring order and tradition. Perhaps the tomb's intricate designs contain lessons in kingship, secret guidance on how to rule the vast empire, and warnings about the ever-present threat of chaos. Ramesses II would go on to become one of Egypt's most powerful pharaohs, and it's tempting to think that his father's wisdom, encoded in the very walls of his eternal home, helped guide his hand. The relationship between father and son was clearly one of deep respect, and it makes sense that Seti would want to leave a lasting legacy of knowledge for his heir. When you stand today in the quiet stillness of KV-17, surrounded by the watchful eyes of gods and goddesses painted on the walls, you can feel the weight of these mysteries. The air is cool and silent, a stark contrast to the blazing heat of the valley outside. You are in a sacred space, a place where time seems to stand still. Beneath the painted stars of the burial chamber ceiling, you can almost feel the presence of the great pharaoh. It's as if you can hear his voice, a whisper carried across 3,000 years of history, echoing the central belief of his entire life, the philosophy that guided his reign. It's a simple, powerful message that resonates from the depths of his tomb: order must always return. Even from chaos, Egypt endures. Seti I's legacy is not just in the temples he built or the battles he won. It is immortalized in this incredible tomb, a testament to his vision, his faith, and his undying love for his country. It is a place of beauty, mystery, and profound spiritual power, a secret buried deep beneath the Valley of the Kings, still waiting to share all of its wisdom with the world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life and afterlife of Seti I. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient Egypt, please hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventure. We have so many more stories to uncover together. Thanks for watching.